complete community here. Temporary travelers, and this lovely couple, I pre-asked of course if I have their permission. Hola!
Of course, you had the permission. Hola!
Yeah, but I also need to ask before because I don't want to be rude and I don't want to.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't want to invade in people's privacy. That's not my intentions on my channel. My channel is called Bogart in Paraguay.
Bogart in Paraguay.
And mi chiamo Jos.
Okay.
And what is your name?
My name is Laura. I'm originally from Italy.
Italy.
I'm Alejandro. I'm from Argentina.
Okay. And are you friends or what's your relationship?
That's not the right.
No.
You're married
No, not yet. But we are
and engaged.
engaged. Yes.
Oh, you
And
haven't
it's gonna-
proposed yet. I'm putting the pressure up. I'm sorry.
He's gonna propose
Je
soon.
m'excuse.
I hope so. Or I'm gonna propose to him probably.
I wouldn't do it here. It's too wet, the soil here.
Yeah,
So you're excused, my friend.
It's the worst place.
Yes, we actually park in the worst place. Look, it's so
Yeah,
wet here.
and you got a four-wheel drive. You have four-wheel drive in the car.
No, unfortunately.
Oh,
But we
so
use
just
it as it was.
yeah.
We don't have four wheels like.
No.
it's not-
And what is your name, Miss
My name is Laura.
Laura from Italy? You were
From
born in Italy and you emigrate to Paraguay, or what's the story?
No, I was born in Italy, lived all my life in Italy, and then I went to Argentina to study my last year of university, and I met him, and well, things happened, and then we moved together to the UK, where we worked for 6 years and a half,
Yeah.
almost 7 years, and then we raised quite a bit of money to buy this camper van and came to Argentina again to start traveling, and we are here in Paraguay because we need some to solve some technical issue with the
Yeah, like always. The neighbors also have some technical issues.
Our idea is travel for Argentina
Yeah.
and a little bit for Paraguay and
Yeah.
maybe Chile.
Yeah, hope so.
I would love to hear your traveling tips in my comments, or even better, maybe I'll go to Argentina also for my blog.
Yeah.
But I must be, as a person who doesn't speak the language, very cautious because in Holland they say Argentina is very dangerous, not like Paraguay.
I don't know. In Argentina, people say Paraguay is very dangerous. I don't know. Yeah.
I guess that's always the same, eh?
Depends.
The neighbor is more aggressive and dangerous and we are okay.
Maybe in the big cities.
In Amsterdam people get shot and they get robbed from their golden Rolex on the terrace during daylight.
Oh, dear.
Nobody talks about that.
Well,
But all politicians who are so corrupt, they always point out to third world countries, they are corrupt, they are bad, and they are... And if you point that way, 3 fingers are pointed at yourself, eh?
yeah, that's true. Well, in Italy, I'm from near Venice, and they are pickpocketing you when everywhere in Venice. So
I love Venice though.
It's a nice city, but it's as dangerous as.
I,
any other
or
touristic
Napoli.
destination.
Napoli also very
Napoli, they
dangerous.
say it's really dangerous. On the other
In
side,
London,
it's.
I lost 2 bikes.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
They
don't even mention bikes. I mean, in Holland we got, I think maybe every Dutch person has a bike, and then some of them had more. I previously had 5. So I mean, yeah, but when fans visit, then you can bike together. Or when I'm renting out my apartments to students, they could take the bike. So you know, it was for a reason. And now I brought my folding bike with me, my last one. All the others I've sold, including my house. And the folding one is a Brompton, which actually,
Good one.
yes, you can take it with you while traveling.
We were planning to take our bike.
There's
as
only
well.
one perfect foldable bike available. I'm sure it costs money, but it's the best. A friend of mine thought otherwise. He bought a Koga Miata, used it for maybe a day, sold it and bought
A new one.
the Brompton.
I want a Brompton, but for this reason we chose a folding bike from Decathlon.
Was
Yeah,
way
Yeah.
more cheaper.
Yeah.
Than yeah, Brampton is. It's so good because you got the two little wheels and you can carry.
Yeah. And it's also allowed, well, previous it was, as hand luggage in the plane.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't know.
Yeah. So that's why I chose that one.
Well, yours got stolen, and mine I sold it just right
Yeah.
before leaving the UK. So
Yeah.
just because we had too many things to carry to Argentina anyway.
So if you travel visiting Holland, you can buy on Marktplaats second hand from, maybe if you're good looking, from 500 euros up till maybe 2,500 for a second hand one in euros.
And then you.
And then you buy the folding bag in the official shops. They have several shops for only Bromptons, which cost around 70 till 120 euros, depending on the model. And you fold it, put it in the bag, and you take it while traveling.
And then whenever you're ready to move.
And it has room in
you
the
just
camper.
sell it.
Because I drive a camper myself. Hopefully it's gonna arrive by the end of next month.
Okay.
I have a Volkswagen T6 coming.
What was it? Oh, is it bigger than this one?
No, similar.
Well,
But I do have four-wheel drive.
Oh, you're so lucky.
No, research, baby, research.
Well, that's what we could afford,
But I bought it second hand. I didn't buy it new. No, and I sold my house. So basically, my fortune is in my car now.
Okay, so hopefully it's gonna be with you soon then.
we bought this model because in Argentina the camper ones are expensive.
Holland also.
Yeah, but in Europe it's too easy to buy a.
I bought it in our neighbor country, in Germany.
In Germany.
Germany is expensive, but in Holland, cars are maybe 20 to 30% more expensive than Germany
Oh, okay.
because of tax. In Holland,
Oh,
that's why all young generations with brains and attitude and ambition leaving Holland. The last 2 years, 400 Dutch people left Holland for Paraguay only. We are now at the 8th position out of 10 in Paraguay as newcomers.
Oh, okay. Well, we think Italy is like a third probably because there is a huge community of Italians, of people from France,
Yeah.
and in general from Europe, a little bit up in the north. Where Colonias Unidas?
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, if you visit Cacoupé, a friend of mine, Valentina, she's from Italy, and she used to run a restaurant, her Italian restaurant, but now she changed business, and she lives here. She got married with another Italian man,
Oh, we are.
and they are in their honeymoon weeks, and they are like 35 years but acting like little kids. So it's really fun to watch on Facebook, Valentina. And if you give me a link with my email, bogartinparaguay@gmail.com. No, it's on my profile on the channel. It's on the profile on the channel. Then you can follow me, but you can also mail me at bogartinparaguay@gmail.com, and then I can share contact information if you want to look them up as a country neighbor.
So, what's your plan now? What are you doing here in Paraguay? Why
I-
did you decide to move? To
I am a
Paraguay?
political refugee from Holland. So first I escaped our communistic mayor from Amsterdam, Femke Halsema, and she destroyed basically our community in our city by the WEF globalistic elite corrupt rules, Agenda 2030, and open borders. So migrants are flooding in, and they get all benefits for free, and they don't pay tax, and they get it for free money, while my daughters, 26 and 28, they have to make a study loan, have to repay everything back, have to queue up in social housing, and that can lead up to 18 years waiting. And if the migrants don't get a house in 6 months, they get a house for free, or they get a house in a hotel, a room, or in a cruise ship. Same in France, same in maybe Italy, but I'm sure in England. So this is the corruption of the Brussels fascists like Ursula von der Leyen, which caused a lot of people who are really awake and thinking are moving out of Europe, like myself, and leaving their homeland to go maybe to Hungary with Viktor Orban or with Poland, which are a little better because they are looking after the interests of their own population. But if they're not that wise, then they go to Spain or Portugal, and then they will find the same EU globalistic elite rules, which are dictated by BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, and all the rich corrupt politicians like Biden, Barack Obama, and well, you know who they are.
So, and you decided to move to Paraguay. We don't know actually the situation about Paraguay because we are not.
Well, President Peña is a really good president, and it's like Texas. In Paraguay, you are allowed to buy a gun to protect yourself or your family, and in Holland it's not. So also for that reason, if the political regime or the political establishment makes rules which the population don't like, they walk to the government and say, change the rules.
Here in Paraguay, yes?
Yeah, and in Holland it's not possible anymore. It's a digital cell and it's getting smaller every year. And once the controlled digital currency with controlled digital ID is taken in place, which is in October starting as we speak, in Holland as a guideline, because we were sold out by our former Dutch Premier Mark Rutte. He's a very psychopathic, narcissistic man with no kids, no future. He is a useful idiot for the global elite, or maybe they are blackmailing him that he does the things what Klaus Schwab him dictates.
We do have very little knowledge about Holland, to be honest. We just went to visit it, but we never really looked into politics because they're just as.
I think in Holland, from Europe, I think Holland is the most corrupted land you can imagine, but it's without outside. It's under the carpet. It's a global elite club, like the famous comedian, the American said. It's a big club, but we ain't in it.
And do you think Paraguay is better than that's why?
Yeah, because here, if there is some corruption, I haven't established it in my 2 travels, but if it is, from what I'm being told, it's a democratic corruption. So you can also bribe the politician, or you can also bribe the police or the taxi or whatever. And in Holland, it's not. It's only for the elite who are in the political decision-making circles.
Well, we just know that there are a lot of people moving here to Paraguay, but we never really investigated.
This is why. And this is also escaping the chemtrails, escaping the 5G towers, which are killing our animals, our plants, our trees, and human. It's like living in an environment of a microwave. So I hope the 5G is going to be stopped here in Paraguay. That's my intention if I get maybe a chance to conduct an interview with somebody in power. Yeah, to explain why people from Western countries are fleeing their countries, their homeland, to start over here in Paraguay, where you actually have freedom.
Oh, on the border, the people explain that us, but I didn't understand.
No, but it's the same. In the car. If you drive an electric car and you have electronic devices to measure the straling, or what are you being exposed to, it's very unhealthy to drive an electric car. As the COVID jabs were very unhealthy, and it got people killed and it got people poisoned, and it was a planned pandemic to minimize the population, which is being told in upfront by Bill Gates.
But I don't quite understand why Paraguay is then like shell from all this, because we arrived in Encarnacion like 2 days ago maybe. Well, one day was raining, so it doesn't really count. But we found that it's like pretty much like every other city in the world. I mean, it looks, I don't know, it looks really, I don't know. I mean, it looks like any other city in the world, and it looks like it has a lot of oh my god, what's the word? Technology, and everything is like, I don't know.
Yeah, but sometimes is at an advantage if a country is a little less fast developed as the countries in Europe. You can see that example in Africa. We had like phones, and then we had like computers, and then we had smartphones. And in Africa, they didn't have computers. They overtook that step and they went on straight away to smartphones. So sometimes it can be a challenge if you are a little behind, because then you can see the bad things from things. And if President Peña is paying attention, he should really look at what Viktor Orban is doing for his country, and why so many people are now considering Hungary is a safe land, maybe the last safe land to be free, with a president who's looking for the interest of the population. If you work in Hungary as a lady and you get your first or your second child, you don't have to pay income tax anymore to give you the ability to work but still support your family. Instead of Holland, where you have to pay up to 50% tax, you can't afford your groceries, you can't afford your rent or to buy property. So people are, and this is new in Holland, are sometimes 28 or 30 or 32 still living with their parents because they can't afford housing.
It's really expensive.
And the open borders provide free housing for migrants. So we are last.
So yeah, well, at the moment living in Europe is quite hard.
It is.
It
is.
a lot of taxes. To be honest, I don't know. Well, there must be a reason why so many people are moving here to.
Yeah. I think so. So, but look at the positive things, because I don't want to end negatively. But it's a real reality and a lot of motivation for so many people, and the group is getting bigger. So now they are making restrictions from Holland to flee away. So that's going to be in charge. So you're not able to leave without paying a fine, or you have to still pay taxes and all other things. So it's getting, you know, the trap is getting too close, and then you are caught in your digital cell in Europe.
Well, we don't know all of this. I mean, we just left Europe a couple of years ago and we start traveling like free mind and.
Yeah, my daughters don't know. My daughters they are young generation. They are not politically interested.
Is
So
she in Holland or?
yeah, they stay in Holland, unfortunately. But they are. If I speak with them, then they say, well, stop the discussion, or we give you a veto, or we don't see you anymore. So they don't want to know. They don't want to hear. And this is like 80%, 90% of the population in Europe. And it's similar like the early 30s. The smart Jews fled from Europe to America because of the fascism from Hitler. And the same money flow who was funding Hitler at the time is now the global elites who are funding Brussels and the deep state in America, Biden, to serve an agenda which is not in the interest of the population, but it's for a few people to make more and more and more money, and people are basically a slave. Only instead of the old plantation days with the cotton picking black, unfortunately taken people from Africa, they at that time were provided at least a house and free food. Now the digital slaves have to pay their own cell and their own house with tax and everything, and they don't have any money left. In Holland you have to work till May or June for the government, and after that the money becomes to you. And if you die and you have saved some money, and every year you have property tax, so you have to pay taxes on what you have already earned after you pay tax with your salary. And if it's above a certain level, because you are wise and you don't want to spend your money, then you have to pay richdom, millionaire tax, and that's above 50,000 euros. So that's very easily being gained by most of the people in Europe. And then if you die, don't think your kids get that money which has already been taxed on twice. You have to be taxed again. So this is the reason why people are moving out to Dubai, Abu Dhabi or Paraguay. And then there is this other reason, because there are so many people from different religion coming into Europe, and not everybody likes that new culture because they don't adjust. They want us to submission.
Probably we flee Europe without even knowing. So, well, we didn't really think. We just moved to Latin America, well, because of your heritage, and we liked it a lot. So,
I love this country here. I was here in November, December with my sister, traveling after research for 2 years for what I was going to be doing. First I tried Spain, but in Spain with Valencia living there, it's the same, and my relationship broke off, so I had to walk away, go back to Holland, and then prepared my traveling. And then first I thought of Hungary, but not so comfortable with the war with Ukraine close to it. And also what they did in Brussels with Romania. They had free election, they had a premier chosen by the people, and they took over a regime change, and they made it because the one who won wasn't supposed to win. exactly as they did in the 2020 elections with Trump.
And what about here? It was easy for you to come here with the documents? And
I had it arranged with some organization to have it arranged, yeah.
Is in
But
Paraguay,
it's
is it quicker and
it's not
stay?
that expensive. If you have it done, it can be done from in Holland a regular month salary, net.
And it's like you can have the visa and the fine.
They will help you with it then, with the digital fingerprints processing, so you get your cedula, and then you have to have meet some requirements.
Okay.
You have to have an income and that sort of thing. So this is what.
So is Paraguay quite a welcoming country if you want to move here?
Yes, because they had a very big war, and this is the great well-known war in local Paraguayan history, when they had a
Java War?
they had a crazy
Yeah.
general, and he was fighting 3 countries. He was fighting Argentina, he was fighting Brazil, and I believe Chile or Colombia at the same time, and 90% or even in that area of the male population died.
Okay, so it's quite an
They need
empty
people,
country.
yeah.
They need
They
people.
need people and they need more children.
And-
It's a political.
And if you know that Paraguay is 9.7 times bigger than Holland, in Holland, if we didn't have open borders, we would be around 12, 13 million people. But now we are at 18. So within one generation, I'm the minority in my home country.
That's it.
And maybe I even have to convert and submit to Islam, because they don't allow. Look at the history, look at the countries where they come from. If you look at Libya, if you look at Somalia, if you look at Egypt, all Christian countries, Armenia, are being first welcomed to Islam, and when people come in and they start growing, once they have the majority, the friendliness is gone, they have their mosques, and then you have to convert
That's
and to
negative about
submit.
the future of Europe.
So
But
therefore-
I still do believe in Europe and multicultural Europe. We are quite positive about that. Probably because we are young, I don't know. But we are still positive about Europe.
Yeah, if you do your research, which I did, and if you look at examples in countries, look what they did to the Yazidi ladies. They were taken over by, by crazy fundamentalists, and they were taking hostage as sex slaves, and it was really bad what they did.
I know, but I still do believe that we can still live in peace everywhere in the world. So I'm still positive. Probably because I'm still young and still naive, but I still do believe. that. And
You sound like my daughter.
My hope. It's my hope because
Yeah.
I want to believe. So I'm.
But that's the rightful mindset, being young, because you don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
So you
I
must
know.
be optimistic, otherwise
Otherwise, yes.
what's the point in getting through life?
I
Because
still do believe in we're gonna have a really good life together somewhere.
yeah, and I hope for my daughters too that my projections won't come through. And I mean, once we had Pim Fortuyn, who broke the elite, but he got shot coincidentally by a useful idiot, but also in reality with a target, a sniper. And it was maybe because Holland didn't want the joint strike fighter as a first country. And when Pim Fortuyn got chosen, the Minister of Defense from his party, and imagine after being shot, he still got posthume being selected to premier. Imagine how big of a shock that was. And then his Minister of Defense, Matt Herben, he signed to take the joint strike fighters. I guess he must have had an offer he couldn't refuse, and he wanted to live. See what's happening with Charlie Kirk.
I know.
Charlie Kirk is supposedly merged with some student, some useful idiot. Maybe he was being brainwashed, or maybe he was being under hypnosis.
I know it's probably something bigger than us, and we are like
Well,
caught
subscribe.
in our small lives, and we're just thinking about us and how to survive with the technical issues, and I don't know.
Yeah.
We just, I don't know. Probably we don't even care about.
I don't know.
No, but if that's the
For me
problem.
it's different because I think the same in the.
Xavier is a good president
No. But
in
it's-
Argentina.
No, but no, it's not this situation because I don't know how to explain, but
You want me to translate
when
that?
European people come to
yeah.
South America,
They did pretty
change
much the same.
everything, kill the population, the original population,
Yeah.
destroy.
In name of
Everything.
Christianity.
Yeah,
It's
sad.
terrible. I've
Every
been to
religion
And,
did it, or
and
at
I
some
am
point in their life.
an immigrant in Europe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
For
I
me,
am an immigrant in South America as well.
Yeah, well, I'm an immigrant
In Paraguay.
in Paraguay. But the difference is I respect the country, its rules, its people.
Yeah, you, but not everything.
Yeah, but that's a problem if a country allows that. A country should have strict laws. It's like a house. If you are a guest in my house or in your camper van and I don't respect your house rules, you have every right to kick me out.
It's probably all about the people. I don't know. I don't know because we have been immigrant not all our life, but the most part of our lives, and we always.
Well, if you follow the news,
we always
then you don't know. But if you follow independent news, so not the mainstream media, but independent news like Candace Owen, Tucker Carlson, well, may he rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, and now his wife Erica is taking over. If you find them on your podcast and you listen and you pay attention, you know what I'm talking about. And the group is growing who's starting to be awake.
I don't know. We should just take it as like singular example because we know a lot of immigrants too, and they would behave, and they are good worker and hard worker as well. So it's.
Are you speaking from Italy or are you speaking from Argentina?
Oh no, we used to live in the UK, and all our friends, well, pretty much all our
Well,
friends
look what London is now about.
But I cannot
I
say
love
that
London.
because yes, exactly. And all my colleagues, and they were from other countries, and they were really good workers. So we cannot really talk about our experience. Because they were pretty good. So of course there is always like the bad guy that is not working, that is claiming house benefits.
But if you look,
But we do
I
have.
don't know how it's in
Yeah, but-
Holland, but in
No, we cannot talk about
in
Holland,
England,
of course.
in London, British people doesn't want to work. And
If you
No,
look-
actually,
if you look in London and how Sadiq Khan, the mayor, turned out London into a no-go area where people are being robbed from their phones, people are being stabbed, the criminality is huge. Pay attention to the podcast from Tommy Robinson and see what he did. They had Pakistani gangs with social workers and police, and they were for decades brutalizing little girls, raping them, and they had nowhere to go. And nobody wanted to know.
No, I'm not talking about, because I'm pretty sure there's some better example. We're talking about what we know as example as the 6-7 years that we spent in the UK, and we cannot really say anything about bad immigrants because we really do
But
have a really good experience.
Yeah, but then you lived in a safe bubble. But there are also similar, different bubbles.
To be honest.
Yes,
We
I
used
know.
to live in also bad part of London, and
Well, do your research and then you find out and leave
Oh, yeah,
me in a comment what your study will confirm, or maybe you can disagree with me by fact.
no. We do know about information and everything. We do talk about our own experience, and we are really happy because, to be honest,
Did you take the jab, the COVID jab?
the coffee job?
Yeah, the COVID injection with corona?
The corona.
Yeah, the corona injection.
Yeah, and we actually,
You did.
yeah.
You
so
both.
We are fine.
And you take 1 or 2 or 3?
I don't know.
What?
La vacuna para el COVID.
3, 2 in
Two
London,
in the UK while we were working.
One in London, one in
Again, I
Sweden.
know that there are people that they go.
I didn't. I refused. So I had to stay out of the restaurants. I wasn't allowed in. And now it turns out to be a scam.
To be honest, I don't know what.
People are dying of it. Do the
I
research.
do have friends that got hospitalized because they caught COVID before they got injection, and they were really bad. And I got the injection, and we didn't suffer at all.
So
again,
ask
it's
yourself-
our experience, so-
Ask yourself if you don't do the research, but then maybe listen or see other people who did their research and ask yourself the question, why did India not allow the corona injections? Because they had a demand that Pfizer or the others, they had to be responsible if something went wrong. And Pfizer didn't agree their trust. They said, we are not going to supply to that demands, and then they didn't dare. And then India said, then you're not going to jab here. And by now, what we know from research, from people who know, but they were blanked out in the mainstream media, that actually they did know that it was poisonous, and people died and got turbo cancers, and people are dying now because of it.
It's our own experience, and we are really happy that we did, because we didn't have any problems. And again, I saw my friend hospitalized because he got corona, and he was like,
My daughters are jabbed also. I know what you're saying. My daughters are jabbed.
From our experience, from what we say as a couple and in our little family, we are happy, and we were fine.
I hope because there were
we
also.
Know about we know about the research and everything, that the jab was probably not what it was supposed to be. But again, from our side, we consider ourselves okay with that.
Yeah.
So
I hope and pray for you that you're gonna stay safe. My daughters took them as well, and it's been the criminal act of this century, and it's gonna come out. And in some countries the lawsuits are starting, but ask yourself, in Holland, Arno van Kessel, a Dutch lawyer, he started to conduct research, and he conducted Bill Gates and our previous premier, Mark Rutte, to it. And without rule of law, without a court, he was being labeled as a terrorist. He was taken out of his office a week before trial or 2 weeks before trial, and without a trial, which he was just only looking for answers. And if you have nothing to hide and you did the right thing, then you can sure tell it in court. And he was arrested, and he was brought to the most protective prison in Holland, where only the strongest criminals are there. And he's there for more than 3 months, and it's been extended. So how's that for fair justice?
Again, it's the personal.
In Holland, eh? In Holland.
We cannot really talk about Holland because we don't have any information.
No, but Holland is just similar as it is in Germany, as it is in England. In England, if you have an opinion, you get arrested by the police. You have 3,000-4,000 people getting arrested annually in England. Only 500-600 in Russia.
Again, I felt more secure in the UK to speak up for myself than I was in Italy, to be honest. Again, it's my personal opinion, and I was really happy in the UK.
Yeah, but you can be lucky that you have a good neighborhood, that you have the good friends, the good network, and I'm lucky that I didn't have bad experiences personally. But wait, don't ask me. My history's been told by people who did. But if you are living the happy life like you do, and like you should, and like my daughter should, you shouldn't worry. But maybe sometimes you must do a little research of the complot theorists like myself, or maybe complete knowers, what they are talking and why they are putting an effort convincing somebody else without beneficial revenue for it. It's our worry.
I don't know. What do you think?
For me it's different because I'm from Latin America. We live with complots, destruction, and I said before, for me it's the opposite, because the European business destroy my country, take the money to send to Europe.
And so did Americans in South America too.
Yeah, but for me, the problem is not the religion, the Muslim, it's the European people.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's always from the side of you.
Not all, but
No, but
my country was
you are
destroyed.
absolutely right.
My country was destroyed for Spanish people. First, anarchist people. First, los paros generales, los
But don't you recognize?
strikes
See,
were organized for Italian people, French people,
Yeah.
European people, and the forests are destroyed for.
and that's such a
about
sad
British
thing.
people.
Or they destroy some forest for some WEF meeting. They kill tropical forests. It's crazy. But I totally agree with you. But don't you think that one time Argentina, and by the way, Argentina is named Argentine because they had so much silver and they were once the most wealthiest country in the world. They were. It was a mountain of silver.
No, this is in Peru, but in Argentina, no. It's the name, but it's not.
Well, this is the public relations
Yeah.
story I've read and I've researched.
Silver River.
Okay,
Silver
but then
River is not.
okay, then let's put that let's put that aside then.
Yeah.
But don't you think and don't you see or recognize a pattern that some corrupt politician countries or leaders told by rich bankers, because they rule the agenda, are taking all the profit out of a country, and their useful idiots being Mark Rutte, Angela Merkel, Keir Starmer, Emmanuel Macron, Trudeau, to name just a few, they are selling out their country by giving those global rich American or European families all the money. So you're absolutely right, only you're pointing at the wrong persons, because this was not the average soldier or the average missionary who was doing it. He was just a small part in the process, and you can see it's still going on now. Look at the interviews in Tucker Carlson. America has been the last 40 years having a regime change policy to take like small islands of coast areas of Costa Rica where the locals were not able to do business and the American companies were, and so they took all the profit out and they destroyed, and like a vampire or like the bird in Holland, we have a bird, it's called a koekoek. So a koekoek lays his egg in a nest of somebody else, and then he throws out the other eggs, and then you have his egg being grown by a family who has lost their own eggs. And this is what these globalists do with countries, and this is also what they did, unfortunately, because if you look 100 years ago in Buenos Aires or in other parts of Argentina, it was like Paris, it was like Budapest, it was a perfectly nice architecture, and it was a rich country. But then socialism came, and it was a little
part of the population, because
just Buenos
Yeah.
Aires
Yeah.
probably, like the capital city, Buenos Aires, not the province. But if you go to the south of Argentina, like it's very little European. It's more like a regional. I mean,
no.
yeah, the north of Argentina. I think it's
The same Paraguay. Paraguay is
yeah, some rich families own a lot, and yeah.
Guarani is still the Guarani culture.
yeah. They still do speak.
But people should wake up and choose wisely their politician leaders.
I think it's always.
So what do you think of Javé right now, the chainsaw president in Argentina?
What?
Chauffeur? Milei is the
Hey,
president.
Milei, yeah.
Milei, okay.
What do you think of him?
it's so difficult because I cannot compare, because I live a lot of years in UK.
Other countries, yeah.
Yeah, but for us it's not the best situation. But
And is that caused by him or
he say it's a long process to
repair?
repair the country.
And is he doing a good effort? What do you think?
It's always.
This is the problem. It's difficult to understand. If you ask now, for us it's a bad situation. But if it's necessary to have a best future, maybe it's okay. But I need to analyze all the process, because if I take only this small part, I can say it's not good.
You're a
For
wise
ex-
man.
For example,
Yeah.
I can say I not agree with the Milei politics,
Yeah.
but in this moment, for us, it's same, or maybe cheaper, much cheaper live in UK and not in Argentina. In Argentina, food is more expensive.
I know.
The taxes are expensive.
In
Bills.
Holland also the same. The
Yeah.
food prices are raising. People can't afford their groceries anymore.
And I just think that maybe
I want to go to UK to come buy in Lidl, in Aldi, cheaper supermarkets. It's impossible in my country, and maybe here, because it's not too much the difference in Paraguay. We
You think Paraguay is expensive
I don't know, because
compared to
we,
Argentina?
We
just
arrived
went to
2 days
supermarket.
ago, but
Oh.
in the supermarket we
A
checked
few
the
things
price.
were cheaper, but
Yeah.
not everything. Something, many more were just the same.
I don't know the salaries.
Well, we don't know the salary here in the Paraguay, so
I
we
don't-
cannot really compare how much we can afford with the same amount of money.
Yeah.
So, for example, we were saying that food in the supermarket in Argentina is pretty much the same price as in Europe, but the salary are lower.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
of
yeah.
course, that's the real difference, and not just the price itself.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
So, as you said, I quite agree with you that we could see maybe in 10 years we can say, oh yes, Milei did great or Milei did not great.
And what do you
Because
think about Trump?
again, it's quite
Not the-
difficult.
Same, you don't know.
I not agree.
Yeah.
I not agree.
Oh, you not agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
But
agree with you. I
But
just-
actually, he's the first president where the blue-collar workers got it better than the rich elite.
I mean, it's so easy for us to talk because we are far away. We are not living there.
Yeah.
If I would live there and I'm blue collar and I got a salary and I can actually see what my money is buying, I could say, oh yes, he's doing great or no, he's not doing great. So we can only stop passing by. So for us that we can see it from outside,
Yeah.
is kind of not doing very well because we heard about the how's it called? The national health.
You mean
how
the
was it called?
WHO?
No. The healthy system.
The healthcare system.
Yeah, the healthcare system. So we know that a lot of people cannot afford it anymore because it's quite expensive there. But again, we're not there.
In Holland, it's getting there too. Some people can't afford to pay the bill, which is more than 200 euros. If you have a family, they have not the money for paying it.
Exactly, and we know that they had like a public health care, and then Trump took it off, and then some more people cannot afford it anymore. But again, we are not living there, so we cannot
No.
really talk.
Well,
maybe
basically,
we can speak about Argentina.
yeah.
People say the health is bad. I don't know.
The healthcare
The
is bad.
system is bad, but
There was a lot of bureaucracy in Argentina.
yeah, but we,
As in Holland.
We do not agree.
use the public
Healthcare, and it's really good.
Yeah, good for us.
Yeah,
But it's our particular situation.
yeah.
I found out a problem in my health in Argentina that could not be scanned in Italy or in England, and in Argentina they found out within a month, and it's so good. I mean, I'm really happy again with Argentina healthcare, but again,
Yeah.
that's my personal
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
I know
But
that a lot
with
of people
the
are complaining.
healthcare,
With
with the supermarket prices, no, for example.
Yeah.
Or for example, to repair the
The
van
truck, yeah.
or to buy tires is very expensive in Argentina. In Paraguay, it's cheaper. And I don't know. Sometimes some.
Yeah, a lot of people are
Some things
investing
are-
from Argentina in Paraguay.
Yeah.
Also from Holland.
Yeah. Depends. But we cannot speak about Paraguay because
Yeah,
we
we've
are,
been
No.
here very little time to say about
many
it.
people speak.
But you shouldn't be worried. You're a young generation, and I don't want to scare you off. And you should progress in living the happy life, which I'm going to intend to. But I'm just being a missionary, telling what I know, what people told me, and what my research brought. And I have in 95% of my previous 41 blogs. I'm currently a virgin on blogging, and I only have 401 subscribers. But I'd like to give a positive upload or not at all. And the only exemption is the politics. Then I want to be reality.
Well, it's good enough. And to be honest, one thing about what we were saying, it's like the story is told by everyone experience. Like for example, as you were talking about, we as European, I'm sorry about you, we have been told that Columbus discovered America and brought people and everything. But on the other side of the story, there is the American people living here that say that it was not that great discovery. It wasn't first of all a discovery because they already existed, so it didn't.
I know, that's
So now,
the history has so many lies.
Yeah.
exactly. So everyone is telling the same history in a different way. So, for example, we might not agree on the same on the same topic because we have different experience in life, and we do not agree on the same topic.
Yeah, but
because we had different
if you look at the
backgrounds.
facts from our history, if populations don't learn from their previous history, it's karma, it will return.
True, but
And if you look at the hieroglyphs in, some say even in Arizona in the Grand Canyon, which you're not allowed to see, in Egypt, you find similar drawings in South American countries. You see there native people on buildings like 200 years old wearing a helmet like they are space travelers. And how can you explain those big rocks in Egypt are with manpower being built so precisely that nowadays people still can't figure it out how to. So we are being lied to all the time. And this is a future topic of my blog.
so probably, I mean, the only way we're gonna find out the solution is traveling back in time, which at the moment is not possible, and ask
And-
the Egypt people of that time exactly how on earth did you manage to build it, or
Yeah.
what happened here.
And
So
now
probably
Tesla was on the track of that. And he was building for free energy, for example. So energy,
Sorry?
Tesla.
Oh, Tesla. Okay, yeah.
He was being killed for it because he was investigating free energy from a previous very high civilization, the Tatarians, and they had cathedrals, like we call it churches, with similar buildings on top of that, where they had some structure in it, and basically it was cathode for harvesting energy from the space. So you have free energy, but on free energy you can't tax. So they make oil or they make it like a hard asset, and then the government can control and they can tax you. And this is also on the Tower of Paris. It was planned there to make something on it as well. And they say it was only for the fairs in the World Show fair,
Yeah.
but it's not. And also if you look in America in some buildings, it's not for just the fair, it was our hidden history. And the big mud floods and everything, we are being lied to. And the Chinese wall. So why, if the Chinese built the wall, why are the holes in the wall directed into China? It's more than a wall built to isolate the Chinese. And this is also not in the schools being taught rightfully.
Again, there are some history secrets that
We are not allowed to know.
probably we will never
I-
know.
No. I like investigate the history.
I think you can start.
I study many years
History at the university.
history at the university.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
if you study it, you are being propagandized, indoctrinated by money sources behind the different agenda. If you studied yourself like I did, autodidactive, and Charlie Kirk did, and then you have your own independent research, then you find a whole different story.
Yeah. For this reason, is
This is good why you travel, you get to learn more.
the history que se cuenta is
It's told by.
is told by the winners.
Yeah, of course.
But for this reason, I say I need to analyze all the process because it's my experience. I can speak about the other people's experience,
Yeah.
but it's not easy and it's not the
Well-
realistic maybe.
Well, being an heart patient myself, last December I had a collapse. My heart pump was only working for 20%. Luckily I was in time in the hospital and I was being helped, and now I'm on Medicare and I'm going back to get my cardiologist again in October to meet, and then I'm gonna return. But still, having said that, from the ground of my remaining heart, I wish you all the love and goodness and best life in future. And maybe sometime when you are in a wake, rainy day and thinking, what the should I do now? Watch some Tucker Carlson, watch some Candace Owen, or watch some other channels in the alternative media. And then you will be surprised what we are being lied to.
Yeah, very. We're still too young and too positive about the world. We want
No,
to
it's not
believe.
positive because
It's just like I hear my daughter.
I know. We do our positive.
Yeah. But if you don't know around you what's going on, then you could be the lobster being dragged out of your environment of the sea, put in a bowl of water, and you think, it's getting nice and warm, and then suddenly you're cooked and there's no way out.
I don't know. For me, it's because I had a different mentality when I was young, but I didn't change.
What was the mentality then, and what is it converted to now?
I don't go to say it in the.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't change nothing, and
You didn't achieve the things you wanted to do, or you did achieve to do it now.
No, I lost part of my life without change nothing and without life my life.
Without
And-
successful, you mean?
Yeah, and now I try to speak.
Are you happy
less.
now, or are you more happy then?
It's different because.
This is what's your lady, your future wife.
No,
Say
no,
now because
no,
you're
because
happy
it's different
now.
because I was.
Think
happy-
about the answer twice, my friend.
I was no, but I was happy trying to change the world, but now I'm
The
happy,
world. Yeah.
I'm happy trying to live my life and
Yes.
trying to travel.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe in the
Take care
future.
may,
For example, you say about the coronavirus. I don't know if it was really or fake.
well, don't
but
take my word for it. Do the
I
research.
cannot comprove.
Yeah.
And I cannot to lose my life trying to comprove or trying to check because.
But you must have the time to do the research. That's true. And if you are struggling for life, then, which makes sense, my daughters are struggling in their young lives, and they are worried about their future. They are worried about getting economical, independent and successful, and maybe starting a family or maybe not, and all those kind of questions. But may I ask a disrespectful question? You can always decide, no, I'm not going to answer.
Yeah.
What is your age?
38.
39, 31. And may I ask the same question to
33 almost, yeah.
33?
Yeah.
So he got the wisdom and you got the age? Or is it differently?
Like that. Yeah,
Because he was really saying some really good things just now. Because
Yeah, he
I
was
was used to be, and maybe a little still, but I was being an evangelist, promoting like a missionary for think of that and that's dangerous and making the world a better place, while I was destroying my own life, my own happiness, and I was not leading because I was into a depression and I had to take precautions to get me out of that depression, which my daughters also visioned on a daily basis for some period of time. So I hear you, my friend, I hear you. And then I decided enough is enough. I bought a house after my separation in the center of Amsterdam. We got a communist mayor destroying our city. So I, as a political refugee, flooded to Zaandam. I got a house. I had 45 years of not being renovated and updated the house, so there was a lot of work to be done, which I totally did on my own as project manager with the profit of the house I sold in Amsterdam and with a constructor from Ukraine and with a constructor from labor people from Poland and others, because the Dutch companies are paying so much tax that I can't afford to pay them, because every salary is doubled or maybe tripled almost in taxes for you to have something done. So this is stimulating the black economy in Holland like crazy. And I'm not saying I did it black, I just paid different money to different persons, like you said yourself about London, immigrants doing the work that the people with the networks, not or yes with corruption, they get their business going on by friends in their network. I didn't have the money, so I had to be wise. Then my house was converted. I had 2 studios in the first floor and 1 apartment in the ground floor, and I was going to rent my ground floor, and I'm going to live in the small studio in the front and rent out the small studio in the back. I put solar panels on my roof to be energy independent, like our government wanted. Then they changed the rule of tax. I was no longer able to rent my house to students as I would. I was no longer allowed to make my rent myself. I was no longer allowed to make a year limit rent only, and with good behavior I could extend. So basically I was being told, if you agree to a tenant once, you're never going to get it out of your property. The tenants are really, for a good reason, protected, but it's too much protection now. So thirdly, they changed the solar panels rule of tax. So now you have to pay. Even I was promoted from the government to invest in solar panels. I have to pay because I supply energy to the grid. It's crazy. So this and other issues were for me the final step. Well, you know the word, I'm not going to say it on camera, but I walked away, sold everything, and this was my fleeing as a political refugee from Holland, with pain in my heart. Maybe I have my heart problems for being homesick, missing my daughters, who knows? But it's factual, and I'm not the guy who's going to be, knowing what I know, being punched at one cheek and then presenting the other one. I run as fast as I possibly can to a safer environment with the loved ones I have, my daughters, and if not, with the most pain in my heart, without them. I have to choose. If you are in a plane and it's going down, there's one rule. Take your precautions for your first parachute only, and if you save, then the next person next to you. And this is in the time we are living now in Europe. It's you have to be wise.
That's what I was saying, just save ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's why I live a happy life here.
For me, it's so difficult to explain in English because
You're doing a great job. Way better than my Spanish.
But I think we have maybe a similar opinion and opposite opinion because we are from different worlds.
I know, but if you like apple and you like banana, you can like both.
But the difference is you are not happy with your country for example for the taxes or the
Well, basically, let me rephrase what you just said. I am happy and in love with my country. I am born in Edam, known for its cheese worldwide, and it was a perfect city in the early 50s and 60s, when one family could earn a living and then he or she could look after the kids, had a car in front of the house, they could pay the rent or they could buy the house and they could go on holiday. Well, now it's not even possible. And if you look, don't believe me, but look at the facts. If you see for how much in gold you could buy a house and how much in gold you could buy a house now, it's the same amount of gold, but by corruption and the federal laws in America with the petrodollar, there is so much inflation going on that $1 100 years ago has lost 99% of its value. The pound itself.
Let me try to explain. But in Europe, when Europe is in crisis or the
crisis, yes,
crisis or the people is angry, is because you have to pay many taxes or you have.
We have no freedom. We have no freedom of speech.
Yeah, it's true. But why the young people doesn't say nothing? Because
You're used to.
you can have a
That's the
good
main
life.
difference actually
Yeah.
between
I
your
have one-
generation
For
and
example, I don't like the monarchy.
No.
But why I didn't say nothing in UK? Because my salary is good, my lifestyle is good, but this is.
Yeah, but that's a corrupted family, you know.
I know, but.
And by the way, the biggest landowner in the world almost.
Yeah, but when you protest in Europe is because you are good, but you are not very good. But in my country, the people kill for a phone. The people cannot.
It's a strive for
food to
for
eat.
survival. I hear what you
It's
say.
different. In my.
It breaks my heart what you're
book,
saying, but it's factually true what you're saying.
She's a European living in the in the great area from Buenos Aires. In my borough.
Do
when
you feel
it's-
safe in?
No, not at
No.
all. I'm scared to walk out
Yeah.
of my house alone.
I
when
cannot
it's
walk
dark
when
outside.
it's in the night. I cannot walk in my borough. I cannot go to
Oh mio Dio! Oh mio Dio!
Somebody just hit my car.